Is it on? Okay. Do I need to say it again? Okay, I'm good. All right, let's recognize the roll. Vice President Flores,
Here.
Secretary Shaw, Director Kirkland,
Here.
Director Baker's not present, and Director Anderson.
Here.
Thank you. Okay. And it looks like we have one person signed up for citizen communication. And just to let you know, we can't deliberate with you. We'll listen to your presentation. We can ask questions or give factual information. So I'm going to call up Ben Trace.
Hi, thank you for hearing from me. I'm from the North Rim neighborhood. Dozens of my fellow neighbors attended the last board meeting, and many of us talked about our concerns regarding the BCRU power line proposed to run through our neighborhood. We are attending again tonight to let the board know our concerns haven't been resolved, and we are committed in seeking an alternative. Since the last board meeting, BCRUA and PEC representatives visited the North Rim neighborhood. An outcome from that meeting was a commitment to explore running the power line along the north side of 1431, a major road instead of a residential street. We also reached out to our elected officials. Travis County Commissioner Doherty and State Representative Goodwin contacted the BCRUA on our behalf, and they're asking for a win-win solution. We believe the win-win is the 1431 route. The commissioner and the representative want to meet with all parties once the 1431 study is available. Secretary Shaw, we're in the Leander City Hall this time, and the City of Leander's website states the BCRUA's purpose includes responsible planning for the least impact on neighboring communities. North Rim is a neighboring community, and the proposed North Rim route negatively impacts dozens of properties and front yards on that route. The 1431 route has the least impact on neighboring communities going along a major thoroughfare that already exists, and we look to you, the board, to help fulfill this pledge. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone else wish to speak? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to item number 4, approval of minutes. Any motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I have a motion, do you have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Secretary Kirkland and VP Flores. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And opposed? Okay. We have a new board member, Director Baker, council member from Round Rock, and he's unable to be here, so we'll learn all about him next meeting. Item 6, resolution. 6A, consider resolution approving the BCRUA annual budget for FY 2019-20, subject to approval of the participating cities. You have a presentation, Ms. Bondi?
Yes, thank you, President Duffy. As we look forward to developing the FY 20 budget, we can look forward to the next decade as we're starting to talk about 2020. For one thing, it is my 1-year anniversary as General Manager of BCRUA, but we've also had a lot of things happen in the past year. We've settled the lawsuit over Phase 1A. We reached agreement with Pedernales Electric Co-op on getting a design of the new power lines, and we began treatment for the zebra mussels. We opened bids for the Phase 1C water treatment plant expansion, and that's underway. We secured SWIFT funding for the Phase 2 design, and we've awarded the design contract. And then our operations committee has been working over the last 6 months or so on updating our financial operating guidelines to increase efficiency, and that led to the board amending its purchasing policy. And so you'll see through what our operating committee has worked on that we will be proposing some changes to the budget, which I'll outline in a minute, to do a better job of accounting for all of the efforts that support BCRUA. So next year, in FY 2020, you'll see in the budget that we've added funding for the zebra mussel chemical for treatment. We're going to start up Phase 1C in late summer, so that is going to be included in the budget. And then for Phase 2 final design, we're going to be focusing on easement acquisition and permitting and getting that 60% design done. So let me give you an overview of the proposed budget. In your packet, you'll have a bright colored summary. This is not my pink, but I do like the pink. But it's been what BCRA has been using for a while. And you'll see that at the very top, we are planning for a 6 million gallon per day treatment capacity of the plant. Even though it can do more than that, that's what we're expecting the demands to be. And so you'll see each of the items that we budget by, and then how that the cost was in the FY 2019 budget, and then in 2020, and then how that breaks down to each city. And that's the first 2 pages. And then on the last page is some summaries that include what the debt service will be and reserves. And so I'm going to just hit some highlights from this. So the proposed total operating budget, and by total operating budget, that includes all of the operations plus contingency and reserve funds. So that's a $2.5 million budget. That's a 4.4% increase over last year's, which was a $2.45 million budget. The primary increase in the budget is about $176,000 of labor-related charges. $30,000 of that is for our operations staff, just for their annual merit of budget. $53,000 is for an increased need in accounting staff. Cedar Park does our accounting, and between the construction and design transactions, plus we have 3 loans we're managing now, and a lot of different accounts as each city manages its own money. So it's come to a point where we need to add another staff and get some additional support from Cedar Park for that. $29,000 is related to Round Rock's. Round Rock covers the cost of the general manager and some accounting staff. And they had, as we look through, who's doing what and what it costs, they determined that they really weren't charging the full amount of that, some of the additives to the labor. So this will true them up on that area of their responsibility. There's a $40,000 item for having mechanical support for operations that we get from Cedar Park. Some of you may recall that in previous years we had proposed to put a $110,000 new position at BCRUA to accomplish that. But working together, we determined that Cedar Park could provide that service at a much reduced cost, so we're putting that in the budget. And then the last one is we've brought on a temporary part-time administrative support for our operations superintendent and I, and there's $23,000 budget for that. And we don't really have a purchasing department, so that really helps us out with making sure that we are complying with our purchasing policy. And then 3 other increases are due to that zebra mussel chemical, $35,000. We're adding some increased security, we're repairing some aging SCADA, and we've had a lot of lightning strikes that have caused power surges, so we've got $16,000 in the budget for that. And then the reserve account increased by $32,000. Now this increase that I've just talked about, it was offset by a decrease in $112,000 in capital outlay and $20,000 in contingency. So overall, the total budget increase was $110,000. So that's really operations budget. If you look at the total budget that includes debt service, this year we're proposing a $12,580,000 debt service budget. And that is a 5% increase over last year, but that's primarily due to the new SWIFT loan payments that we got for the design. And Cedar Park's debt service for that has been added to the mix. So that's the overall big picture. And staff and the operations committee have reviewed the proposal, and we recommend approval, and we'd be happy to respond to any questions.
Board, are there any questions? All right. Seeing none, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Not a motion to approve,
Second.
a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No.
Okay. You noted that Secretary Shaw opposed the motion. Thank you. Call item 6B. Consider staff overview regarding the quarterly investment reports for April 1st, 19 through June 30th, 19.
Thank you, President Duffy. You all will see in your, at your packet that there is a copy of the quarterly investment report, and we have Leander's Finance Director, Robert Powers, to walk us through it. Thanks, Robert.
Thank you, Ms. Bundy. Madam President, this is the investment report for the quarter ending June 2019. I'm going to speak to the management summary report, which is, I think, page 5 of the document that you have. It looks like this, has Ms. Bundy's signature at the bottom. And just to highlight a couple of things on this report, total investments at the end of the quarter was $57,433,719. Of this amount, 85% represents construction and escrow funds for the 3 loans that Ms. Bundy mentioned. The original 2009 series, we still have balances left from that original loan. Phase 1C, funding from the Texas Water Development Board, and funding for Phase 2 design. So of that $57 million, 85% represents funding for construction projects that are underway. Investment income for the quarter was $327,123 for a net or an average yield of 2.35% for the quarter. The weighted average maturity of all our investments was 85 days, so we're keeping the money fairly short because of the construction projects that are underway. Phase 1C is anticipated to be completed and the funds spent by this time roughly next year, and Phase 2 the following year, so a little over 2 years to go with those funds. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
So with the nervousness in the market, are you doing anything differently with regards to the investments going forward? Or I know you just said some of that short-term money, so you're not.
Right. We are always very conservative with public funds, so the activity in the market, what's that causing is just lower interest rates. We are looking for sound but reasonable returns in the investment period, which is the construction phase. The next item will actually be something that the City of Round Rock has brought to our attention for some of their funds from the 2009 savings to help maximize the yield a little bit better. So we are looking for those things, but staying conservative with any of those investments.
Do we have the opportunity to look at any existing debt and perhaps refinance that?
I don't believe so. The 2009 series, all 3 cities have refinanced, refunded that debt, and it's too early for the 2017 and 2018 issues.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. Is there anything to consider? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. All right, item 6C, consider a resolution authorizing the board secretary to execute the corporate authorization resolution for Next Bank SSB.
Do we need a vote on the
Do we need to vote on it?
investment
Yeah,
report?
seems like it's just
I don't know what the standard has been, but a simple motion to accept the report is
Okay.
satisfactory.
Okay, okay. No, that's fine. So, going back to 6B, need a motion to accept the report.
So moved.
Okay. Second?
A second.
Okay, motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Now we'll call 6C.
Thank you, President Duffy. So as this was a great segue, good question, Director Flores, about what we're trying to do to prepare ourselves for the interest rate fluctuation. So this next item is related to opening an account that would help us do that. Robert, do you want to hit on that?
Only to add that it was brought to our attention by the staff with the city of Round Rock. They're familiar not only with this bank, but also the product that they participate in. It is a alternative to the investment pools that we use that keep the funds liquid but still earn a better yield than just keeping it at a bank or a money market. So to open this account requires a corporate resolution. The city or the board's investment policy allows the general manager and each of the finance directors to act as investment officers, but the bank officials said they needed those individuals named, so we need to bring their form of the resolution to the board for action.
Okay. So I'm guessing, do we have to do a motion or we just sign it for the
Yeah, there's
attestation?
approve the resolution.
Okay, so I need a motion to approve the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
Motion is second. All those in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed? Yeah, you have to attest it, see? Okay. Director and closing comments. Director Anderson.
I have nothing.
Okay. Secretary Shaw?
Yeah. Quickly, I know nobody wants to hear me talk. I don't want to hear me talk. I take what I do very seriously on anything that I'm sitting on now. So to everybody that's here and wondering why some of the votes I do, it's because if I vote my conscience, and if I haven't done the research enough, I feel like it's my obligation to the citizens of Leander to make sure that I make the right decisions. So.
Okay. All right. Mr. Flores?
Just wanted to say, I had not realized it's been a year since you've been here, but as you're reading through the list of things we've been working on, I know you've been busy and appreciate you being here and looking forward to continuing to do good things. Thank you.
All right. Director Kirkland?
Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight.
Okay. And likewise, thank you to the citizens of Northrim that have come out. Thank you to all the budget committee while you're working on your own city budgets and then working on this board budget as well. Thank you for all the time and the due diligence, because I think the extra staff is going to be very well received and work hard for us. So thank you. All right, that's it. We're adjourned. Time 6:25. Thank you.